something like that. I'm just messing around with some fun stuff. Guys, a lot to cover today. Man, it's been a little crazy. I'm just, man, I'm trying to just keep it going day to day, man. Good Lord. It's a lot, man, trying to keep up with all this shit. Your diet, your exercise, your music stuff, your life stuff, man. I can't imagine. I always say this. When a musician says they're slammed, like I always do, man, I'm slammed to the max, slammed to the max. That's like that's like somebody else's just normal day. I couldn't imagine all my buddies that do all this stuff that they do, and they're married, and they've got 3 kids. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it. Honestly, I don't know if I could. I've been so spoiled for so long with just doing my music stuff and living by myself most of the time. It's crazy, man. It really is. But man, I'm trying to get my finger back in action. Like I said, man, guys, it's not holding me back too bad, but I am. It's running in the background of some concern for sure. I'm not going out yet, but I'm about to start doing the deep dive with some orthopedic stuff, the physical therapy, deep tissue stuff, and some chiropractic stuff. That didn't really help a whole lot, and so I'm gonna start talking to some other specialists and stuff. But don't worry about me; I'll be fine. I'm a fighter. I'll keep rocking. But I did. I got an interesting story. We took 2 weeks off from the Underdog, and some guys, the band guys, were out of town on vacation and stuff, and which is nice. How can they miss you if you won't go away? Is what I always say. But and I am going to get into some cool pentatonic stuff. The title of the video doesn't always match up with the intro, guys. I mean, this is like I come up here and grab the guitar and I just start playing. I'm not bragging or complaining, but I'm just saying that's just the way it is. So thanks for putting up with me on that one. Been teaching a ton of private lessons lately. A guy just bought 4 lessons. Another guy just bought like 10 or 12 lessons. And another guy just bought like 4 lessons. And so those are all in person, which is like, man, that helps me out so much. We've got, me and Brett are having some meetings about working on another course. We're trying to figure out if we're going to do a blues course or if we're going to do a course that's just kind of like a little bit, not a part 2, but just like a one that would kind of go along with the one we did before, and a little bit more, not more detail, but maybe expanding on some things, more melodic playing and things like that. Let me know what you guys would like to see, but whatever it is, it's going to be a banger, of course, but no pun intended, of course. But I will say that, you know, if you do want to do the deep dive into more of this stuff, you know, please check out the private lessons. It's a blast, and I have a lot of fun doing it, Zoom stuff or in person here in Nashville. You know, we stay booked with that stuff, man. It's a lot of fun. So, and I make a lot of great friends. You know who you are out there. But I wanted to tell you that, you know, a couple Mondays back, we were playing, and Tommy Emmanuel showed up. I was like, man, unbelievable. We were in the back room where we hang out before the show, and I guess you could call that backstage, right? And somebody came in, the new bartender came in, and she said, hey, who's this guy out there that everybody's making such a big fuss over? And young Tom said, well, I'll go out and see who it is. And he comes back and goes, Tommy Emmanuel. I went, oh my God. And I know Tommy a little bit. We've been getting to know each other more and more, and you know, he stays gone a lot. And so I was like, oh, cool, man, Tommy's here. I was like, all right, well, you know, don't be messing around with Tommy Emmanuel in the house. So we had a great time. He had some beautiful things to say about the band and the tones and the playing and everything, and the rhythm section and everything. Just such a sweet guy. And then he came back this past Monday. And man, you know, we hadn't been there in a while. Jimmy was sitting in with us pretty loose, and I have my finger. I was trying to get my finger. It didn't slow me down a whole lot that night, as you guys can see. I posted a solo. I'm still having fun and stretching out and all that, but I was like, all right, man, Tommy's here. I gotta, you know, no screwing around here, boys. So then the next day, I sent him a message, because he only comes in and stays for a couple songs, then he heads out. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him at the gig. So next day I sent him a message. I said, hey man, thank you so much for coming out. Really means a lot. I said, I'm kind of going through it a little bit with my hand and all that. And dude, it wasn't 30 seconds later, he called me, FaceTimed me from the airport. He goes, man, I'm at the airport. I'm heading over to England. And and he FaceTimed me, man. So I was standing outside, took my sunglasses off, and he goes, "What'd you do to your face?" But he goes, "Man, what's going on with your finger?" And I said, "Man," I started telling him about it. He goes, "Yeah," I go, "Some of my buddies have had that, and Jack Pearson has dealt with some hand issues and stuff, and it's not super uncommon." But this was the amazing thing I wanted to tell you guys about Tommy. He goes, "Man," he goes, "you're my brother." He said, "If your finger's hurting, it's hurting me too." And man, I gotta tell you, the talking and the texting and the phone calls I've had with Tommy, there hasn't been a lot of them, but man, that guy is vibrating on another level, man. I mean, he is the sweetest, kindest human being, man. It's unbelievable. These guys are like role models, man. Their guitar playing is amazing. What these guys have done with their guitar playing and their careers and everything, man, it's incredible. But the human, fruit fly in here, so the human beings, I hate flies, man. I can't stand a fly. I've been killing a couple around here. It's so hot. I guess they're coming in from the front door. They feel the air conditioner or something. But man, the human beings that these guys are, that's the takeaway. I mean, man, the guitar playing, yes, it's amazing, but I don't ask these guys questions about the guitar. I ask them questions about life. Tommy Emmanuel he's almost 70 or 70 years old. I'm asking them questions about life, man. The guitar playing, we can find that out anywhere. Not anywhere, but I mean, we can learn to play along to records like everybody did. But man, what I want to know from these guys is, man, like, how did you get to be such an amazing human being, man? I mean, these guys are, I'm so fortunate to have these role models in my life, like that. Literally, you hang up on the phone, they make you feel better about yourself, and they make you want to be a better person. That's what this is all about, man. It's like, that's why anybody that leaves any kind of stupid comment on any of my social media stuff, I immediately just, you're kicked out of the bar. You're done, because there's no time for that shit. There's no energy for it. It's like low vibrating people talk about other people. Medium vibrating people talk about things, and high vibrating people talk about ideas, right? Okay, so let's talk about some ideas on the guitar. So that chord progression that I played at the beginning, kind of cool. That's a C, it's just C, but with a real quick D minor before the A minor, then G, then back to C. Then I thought, okay, that's cool, but then if I was going to do something different, A flat major 7, B flat sus to B flat dominant 7, back, A flat major 7, actually I went B flat major 7, and the next time around G minor, right? A little change. So, but I thought, okay, well, if I was going to do that, I wouldn't necessarily want to keep with songwriting, I would probably want to change the groove up a little bit, especially if you're doing instrumental music. You want it to not be boring, right? So I thought, well, why not just completely go reggae? Those are the kind of things that, you see Uncle Larry do a lot, where he's changing nothing's ever getting boring or stale. It's moving. Keep things moving, right? Doesn't always have to be A part, B part, A part, B part, A part, C part. It can be A part, B part, C part, D part, E part. Just keep it moving. Keep it interesting. There's no rules here, especially not with instrumental stuff, right? So what I wanted to show you guys was some beginner pentatonics, but how they can be used for playing over chords and what notes to target, right? We've done the phrasing trick. shows you what notes to land on. Well, if you're in the pentatonic, here's some crucial things about the pentatonic. First of all, it is coming out of the chord inversions. We know that. I'm not going to get into a big thing about that. But let me show you about how that all links together. Because if I don't play the pentatonic with the right fingering, I'm going to be completely lost. These fingers should be falling right where they're supposed to be without you thinking about it. So I told a guy earlier, if you're darting too far down this way or too far up this way, chances are that note is going to be right under your fingers unless you're trying to work yourself up the fingerboard. And there's a pattern for that. So if I'm in G major in this big E-shaped bar chord, and I go, well, the 2 is going to be right there. My fingers are already right there. So whole step, ring finger, slide. Well, guess what? That puts you in the D shape if you think about it. So there's my box pattern, whole step, slide. Well, then guess what? There's my triad. My first finger is ready to go down right there. So I don't even have to do anything. That's another thing to keep in mind with this. There's three octaves. 1, 2, 3. So this note is the same as this one, is the same as this one, so are the ones in front of it. So keep that in mind. If you can, compartmentalize this and break it up into 3 different sections. 1, 2, I'll say 1, 1, right? So root, root, root. There's your 5th. You'd have to go all the way up to the high to get the high note, but to complete the, the tonality, you can do that if you want. But right here, let's get back to this pattern. That falls right into your D chord shape, right? So that's the first part. Now here's the second one. Now you're in the C shape. Slide, whole step, it's a box. You can see it's like this square right here, right? That's a box. So now right here, I might sneak my first finger in there because now I'm going to go to the A shape. Now back down. Now this is really important. Slide. Now watch. If I go, I'm not targeting the A string. That's not a chord tone. The B, the 3rd is a chord tone. The 5 is a chord tone. Starts to sound like the Tennessee Waltz. Whatever, Tennessee Waltz. Doesn't hurt to learn a melody, man. I mean, that's what we're here for. So if I go again, the 2nd degree and the 6th, those aren't landing spots. That's to get up to that money note. You wouldn't stop there unless you're coming back down. Right? That's all the G major pentatonic. But watch. Say the chord goes to C. Well, the same pentatonic is going to be for the A-shaped C chord, the same pattern. because it's the same tuning as those other strings. So anything I do on the E, A, and D string is going to be the same on the A, D, and G string. It's not till you get to the B string you have to change because of the way that it's tuned, right? You got this, right? The B string is down, so you got to account for that. So my point is if I want to go to the C chord, just go to the C, go to the root. This is caveman thinking. It's not easy, but it's not complicated. So it's real easy. It's like, you know, the sound of the chord that we're playing, play the notes that are in that chord. I know that's a very broad way to look at this, but it's the truth. So if I go, I'm going to go, bah, 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 because that's going to my C chord. Now watch. That's my G shape. That's my E shape. That's my D shape. So I'm not landing on or I'm going to the money notes. Third to the root, to the fifth, third to the root, fifth, third to the root. So right back to G, right? If I want to go here, if I want to go to my C higher, go right to the C note and build the pattern off of that. That's what I'm saying. So that'd be going from G. Now there. If it goes to D, this Telecaster, I'm kind of digging in because it's got a little snap to it. I kind of like that. It's kind of nasty. I mean, it sounds a little sloppy. So that's the same thing. Same thing 3 different times. There's a lot of repeating going on here. But again, in the key of G, if I go to D, right to the note. But it's not about the pentatonic being simple and boring. It's about extracting the musicality out of the pentatonic. Of course, we're never departing from the arpeggio, the chord, the pentatonic, the major scale. Every great player that you know is using those all the time. But they're improvising and they're creating music and they're letting melodies spark things and take them places. And that's why it doesn't sound the same all the time. And they have the freedom to be able to navigate through this fretboard and have ideas, you know, take them off, you know, into these other territories and other sounds. And so, but that's the pattern. If I'm playing the D, it's the same as the C because it's the A shape. If I go to the F, it's the same pattern because the information over the A shape is the same no matter where you move it. The information over the E shape, same wherever you move it. Information over the C shape, I wouldn't do that actually. But it's the same wherever you go. It's just a matter of, that's why the chord inversions are so important because here's my G, here's my C, here's my D, here's my G, here's my C, here's my D, here's my G, here's my C, here's my D, Here's my G, C, D, G. So once you learn how to play the A information, you've got your 1, 4, 5 right there. Once you learn the E information, you've got your, in this shape, you've got your 1. Now the 4 is the A shape, the 5 is the C shape. So it all just ends up doing this. It all becomes the same thing to where you're able to start really opening up the fingerboard. But I wanted to show you something in the minor key also. If I go, okay, that's the lick I want to show you. A minor, pentatonic. That's a phrase. You can start there. But I like that. Right? Slide up with your ring finger. Now watch, I want you to do the exact same lick over the D minor, but I want you to do it one set of strings down. So instead of this, now we're going to go deep. We're not going to go. That has its place, but we're going to use the sound of that, the second degree over that D minor. So picture this. I'm not in time perfectly, but you get the idea. You can do that. Myself. That's and then or you can do that. But the idea, what I want to show you is this. I probably wouldn't. I would play something. When you get to that, when you're in a minor key and you get to that 5 dominant 7. This is a great idea. So here's your C chord, E chord, C shape, E7. So the arpeggio would be. That's one way you could do it. It brings you right back to the A minor. So put the note in there that makes the math work out timing wise, because you could do something like that. More of a scalular approach. That's minor pentatonic. So it's not about playing a lot of stuff. It's about, you can take the A minor pentatonic and play over all those chords right in that shape. You know, you're just targeting, you know, if it's going to D, target the D. If it goes to E, those kind of little phrases. All right, guys. I like to play the guitar, so I get going and I don't want to stop. So check out the links below. Check out the song we just started recording yesterday, that little melody. I love this little melody. I played the rhythm part on a gut string. Like that. It was real warm and nice in the background with a really expensive, like $40,000 vintage microphone that we recorded the nylon string. The mic was pretty far away, and Maddie put down a bongo, a shaker, and then a nice like bell, a couple like 4 or 5 different Cuban percussion things. He played a really nice bass part because he studied music in Cuba, so he knows the proper way to play that music. I can get close, but I'm from Alabama, so it doesn't really hit it as hard as if you actually trained with Cubans, right? But they have a hard time playing a shuffle, so there you go. Anyway, but yeah, Maddie did that, then he played the bass. Then I played the lead line on his Jazz Master. It's Danocaster Jazz Master that's incredible over at the studio up the street here. But the melody of that song is, yeah. So if I go, the lead part would be, then the bridge was, so it goes, the bridge goes 3 dominant 7 to the 4 minor 6. Oh, so shit. I screwed it up already. There it is. Can't believe I just didn't remember that. It's been a long day. I like that melody, man. I really do. And I love these turnarounds. Just 1 to 5. That's very Hawaiian. Pretty cool stuff. All right, got all this kind of stuff. Try this again. I would probably do that. That's pretty hard. So anything like that. All right, that's enough of that horse shit nonsense. All right, guys, thanks a bunch. Another wacky video from your crazy cousin here in East Nashville, Tennessee, telecasting to you on the Danocaster, straight into the 1966 Princeton Reverb, volume on 2.5, treble on 5, bass on 4, reverb on 3, Diodario Planet Waves Tour Series cables, Gruen guitars, Nashville, Tennessee, medium plectrum. No extra charge for mistakes. We'll see you guys down the road later on, guys. All right, see ya.